When Elon Musk first came up with the idea of life upon Mars, we all thought he was crazy. Through the course of his hard work, and obviously through Tesla, he made sure to exhibit the potential within his ideas. But what if we tell you, whatever empire and dreams Elon Musk has built are about to get crashed into nothing but dust? Will Elon Musk ever be able to recover from the groundbreaking discovery made by NASA? Stay tuned because we are about to dive down within the naked truth. My dear lovelies, welcome to my channel. Hope everything has been good on your end. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Elon Musk. With NASA's ideology of transcending the boundaries of time and space, the rover has been digging non-stop to collect rock and soil samples from the red planet. You ask what the aim is. It is quite simple. They wish to trace the microbial life through these samples to find the origin and existence of being for the red sample. But should we say the luck of NASA and bad luck of Elon Musk? The rover dig upon the site of an old river delta in Jerzo crater where it collected 4 samples. The Jerzo crater, in simple words, a 12 to 28 mile long patch of sandy collection or sandy dunes. Delta in this scenario has been regarded as a fan structure that met the Martian lake about 3.5 billion years ago. Rover, our wandering robot's main aim was to search for the resources of carbon dioxide and water. Scientists wanted to see if was there any time on the long-standing structure of Mars when life existed on it. What they found was a bunch of sedimentary rocks which pointed to the origin of an aqueous environment, along with leguminous rocks, which demonstrated the volcanic presence at a certain time on Mars. Through further examination from the Sherlock, an organic examining spectrometer, they realized that they indeed found some carbon-containing atoms and molecules. But what was even stranger is the fact that rover has found strange purple coatings on the rocks of the 2,300 kilometer distance Jezreel crater. These chemicals resemble those which existed around the time of Earth's origin. But Leatherbeagle, in charge of Sherlock, describes how the presence of certain organic molecules doesn't necessarily mean their evolution into organisms. Now the question, did life existed on Mars? The information we have might not be enough, as it was just the surface of the mystery it holds. Although the sulfate delivered from the rocks can easily describe on a larger scale for us what were the aquatic conditions upon Mars a long time ago, even before when there was no trace of mankind on Earth. Carbon is particularly important since this element is found in all life on Earth. It flows continuously through the air, water, and ground in a cycle that's well understood thanks to isotope measurements. For instance, living creatures on Earth use the smaller, lighter carbon-12 atom to metabolize food, or for photosynthesis, versus the heavier carbon-13 atom. Thus, significantly more carbon-12 than carbon-13 in ancient rocks, along with other evidence, suggests to scientists they're looking at signatures of life-related chemistry. Looking at the ratio of these 2 carbon isotopes helps Earth scientists tell what type of life they're looking at and the environment they lived in. On Mars, Curiosity researchers found that nearly half of their samples had surprisingly large amounts of carbon-12 compared to what scientists have measured in the Martian atmosphere and meteorites. These samples came from 5 distinct locations in Gale Crater, the researchers report, which may be related in that all the locations have well-preserved ancient surfaces. But here comes the bad news. Despite all the facts, evolution is a process that requires time, even when there are pieces of evidence of life existing upon Mars. The current amount of carbon dioxide annually is not enough to speed up the process of carbon dioxide. Even if the solar radiation and cycles come in favor of this process, it would still require a time of approximately 10 million years before it can be suitable enough for humans to live. But is there any assurance that we will stay by that time? What if we go extinct before any of this could happen? The lowest temperature on Mars was -4 degrees Celsius and the highest -98. On Mars, the air pressure is around 0.6% of Earth, but because Mars lies farther from the Sun than Earth. Scientists claim that carbon dioxide pressure comparable to Earth's total atmospheric pressure is required to elevate temperatures high enough to support stable liquid water. As reported by the American Geophysical Union, scientists discovered layers of ice and silt underneath Mars' North Pole after 1 year of data processing from NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. However, NASA hasn't yet created the equipment to extract water from Martian soil. Elon Musk has claimed Mars as a fixer-upper planet, talking to Stephen Colbert on his show OK, Give Me the Fast, to drop the nuclear weapons over the poles. He says that Mars is a planet that needs fixing before it can be fully colonized. Most infamously, he declared that dropping thermonuclear bombs over the poles would melt carbon dioxide ice and provide a greenhouse effect, and this would be the quickest method to do so to get the desired results. Then, as a result of the heavier atmosphere, liquid water could exist on the surface. If this solution was not so controversial, people might have begun working on it. Or are they already scientists who believe spreading dust on ice by the nuclear explosion to absorb more solar energy or using explosives may release it? So of course, the carbon dioxide in the polar ice caps is the most readily available source, yet even completely melted ice caps would only provide enough carbon dioxide to raise the Martian pressure to 1.2% of Earth's. As of NASA's calculations, heating the Martian soil to liberate carbon dioxide particles vehicles would only add 4% to the needed atmospheric pressure, even an extensive search for carbon trapped in the subsurface. Mineral formations would lead to only 5% of the pressure required to maintain liquid water on Mars. Also, we would need to mine the entire planet at the depth of around 100 meters. That looks like it might take a long while to complete. Professor Bruce Tchaikovsky of the University of Colorado says our calculations indicate that there is not enough carbon dioxide left on Mars to generate considerable greenhouse warming if the gas is to be introduced into the atmosphere by brute force. However, he adds that most carbon dioxide gas is inaccessible and difficult to mobilize. Because of this, terraforming Mars is not feasible with current technology. Elon Musk says that he is still very convinced that SpaceX will send people to Mars by 2026. But as National Geographic writes, he emphasized, this is about becoming multiplanetary, and certainly not about everyone traveling to Mars. On September 27th at the International Astronomical Congress at Gojila, Mexico, this is about having a great sense of adventure and reducing existential danger. Elon Musk established SpaceX in 2002 with the express purpose of sending people to Mars. He says that at the time, he began to wonder why humanity hadn't visited Mars or ventured too far into space after the success Apollo trips to the moon. He told Ron Howard at the National Geographic's Mars series, "It always seems like we humans ought to have gone there by now to have a base on the moon, space hotels, and all these things." I had thought it was a lack of will. It was not that his idea of colonizing Mars is more like an endurance sport than a sprint, but that would not stop his drive. Musk's grandiose and ultimate goal of creating his second home in the solar system is not impossible. Musk's concept might be realized if he can reduce prices to his desired levels, setting it apart from millennia of science fantasy. All the geniuses of our history were hated once Musk's cost of his spatial voyage must decrease to around $200,000. This is the average cost of a house in the United States. It will ensure Mars is a feasible destination. The problem is that it's a big cut compared to existing cost projections. Musk told the interviewer that he does not think he can do all of this alone. A cooperative partnership between the public and private sectors would be essential. There seem to be a lot of flaws in the plan, but to get past today's failures, tomorrow would improve. Generations would come and see what Elon had done. and will be doing by 2060. Elon plans to make Mars habitable, so all hands are on deck too. We only need to trust technological advancements. This also brings us to the end of the video. Don't forget to like and hit the bell icon. Also, comment down below on what you think Elon will win his dream. Till next time, take care of yourselves.